Do the rising costs of streaming apps have you saying, what the f***? Well, it had enough for me as well, and that's why today we're going to introduce you to the brand new SuperBox S7 Pro. Get ready to put that money back in your wallet. Hello everyone and welcome back to Life Redesigned as we continue our journey covering the best streaming devices for 2025 and 2026. If you're stopping by for the first time, it's going to be abundantly clear this is not a tech channel. In fact, my wife and I are just two full-time RVers who travel the country because, well, we got nothing else to do. But occasionally we'd like to cover some things that aren't RV related, and that's how we came across these streaming boxes. And today we're going to talk to you about the S7 Pro because while it is the newest and latest and greatest that just hit the market, the SuperBox Pro is a streaming box, and there's a lot of things that I could talk about, and there's some things I can't talk about, so you'll have to read between the lines and do your own research elsewhere. But if you stick around through the video, you're going to learn how you can save 10% off of this box that just hit the market. Now, first things first, we're going to cover an unboxing. We're going to show you what this box is, and then we're going to show you a simple setup and wrap this all up with what my thoughts are on this box. This is the S7 Pro from SuperBox, and again, just released. Let's open this up and see what we're looking at here. And for those of you wondering, yes, I've already gone and opened it up because I'm impatient and I love new tech, but I did save you a little bit. We pulled this back here. I did save you that plastic, as I know everybody loves to see that. But this is the newest box from SuperBox. It's the S7 Pro. And just like other incarnations of the box, the form factor looks identical. It has an optical out, has Ethernet port, HDMI port, an AV port, which is always interesting to see. Also a nice USB-C power port coming off to the side here. We have a SD card slot. We also have another USB port and a USB-C port. Really interesting choices here as USB-C is now standard on these boxes. I'm loving that right off the bat, but instantly you notice that it does have a little bit of heft to it, which is awesome considering that this is a plastic case. Unlike some of the other models of the S7 Max, which is a metal case, this still has that heft. And as I mentioned, new for the S7 series is the power adapter is now accompanied a brick as well as a USB-C power cord. I love seeing this because a lot of times I can eliminate this here. It just makes my whole home theater a lot easier to deal with. Also comes with an HDMI cable, which I love seeing those as well. They may not be the best quality, but at least it's going to get you hooked up because nobody wants to wait while you make a trip down to the store because you don't have a cable at home. And it also comes with my favorite part here. This is the SuperBox remote. This here is a voice-activated remote. It does require 2 AAA batteries. And yes, I am still annoyed that they're not including them in the box, but I guess I can't ask for everything all the time because that's at least what my wife tells me anyway. But it also comes with a user guide that I love because it's in color and it's in English, and that's always a good thing to see. This isn't going to give you the full rundown like I'm going to give you today, but it is going to give you basic stuff as well as a troubleshooting guide on the back. So let's dive into specs because that's really what this comes down to. Is you can see there's a ton of models, and that's the thing about SuperBoxes. They've always got something going on. I do like the S7 Pro because it's that balance of right in the middle of pricing as well as features. Where you may not need the storage capacity of the S7 Max, the S7 Pro will have that slightly lower price point. Not to mention 10% off for using our code LifeRedesigned at checkout. There's a link in the video description. And no, we are not sponsored by SuperBox. We just reached out to them and they said, hey, Bob, you keep doing your videos. We'll keep supporting your viewers. And we love that for you. But on the back side here, this is going to mention everything on the box of what the features are for this. It has an Ethernet port with Wi-Fi 6 available with these two antennas. It has 4 gigabytes of memory. It also supports 6K, which we love to see. Over-the-air updates, which if you've caught any of my box reviews, you notice that I am in love with over-the-air updates because it doesn't require you to go to your computer, get the files, move it back to the box. You can just do it all from the box itself. And the codecs it supports, really nice, compact, and it is running Android 12, which is very stable operating system for these. And did I mention voice-activated remote? Right there is a big step up from previous models. Now we're going to hook this up to the TV. We're going to show you what a basic setup is. And there's a lot of things that I can't discuss of what the apps actually do. But if you take the apps that are on screen and you throw them into Google, you'll find exactly what you're getting and why you won't be paying those subscription fees anymore with the SuperBox. Okay, first thing you're going to notice that we don't use capture devices here because we're very low tech in the RV, but we are going to show you exactly what you're going to get. This is what happens when you start it up. You're going to get a disclaimer notice. You're going to go through and you make sure you read that, of course, hit agree, and we are going to move right on to the next one. And this asks you to check your Wi-Fi and set up your network. Well, once you get your password in, it's going to ask you to set up your screen. And then here you just use your up and down buttons here to set it so that it fills in all your stuff. I find that 100% usually works 100% of the time. Boom, there you go. You're right into your user interface. And as you can tell already, this is totally different than the S6. It's a little more cleaner, a little more refreshed, a little more refined as well. But basically what you're going to start here, okay, first thing you're going to notice is that if you go into live TV, there's no apps set yet. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into App Store, you're going to hit the Android App Store, and you're going to confirm this and let it do its thing here. It will download the directory. And then just go in here, and again, you're going to have another disclaimer, and this will automatically go away once that 10-second clock counts down. And just hit OK. And this is going to bring you into the SuperBox App Store. And this is going to have all your downloads for apps. So we're going to start here and do the YouTube's terms of services. A lot of these apps I can't open for you, but you'll see here, and you can do your research on your own. The blue video on demand is going to be for movies and stuff that's not playing live. Once you download that, it only takes a few minutes depending on your download speed, and you'll see that it will have a green check next to it once it's ready to go. We're going to do the same thing for Blue TV, and while that's downloading, I'll run over a few more of these apps that you want to check out. If you're into sports, Blue Sport is a great app. Playback is another one, but down here you'll see these Prime Sports, Prime TV, Prime Worldwide, Sky TV, Prime Cinema, and Ignite TV and Video on Demand, all solid apps for backups to your Blue. So if sometimes you run into server issues, the server's down for maintenance, these backup apps are a great resource to have. And then you have your standard fare. You have Netflix, if that's your thing, YouTube, as well as Cyberflix, Film Plus. There's also ExpressVPN and some other setups here, Disney, and then there's also Downloader. There's a whole lot of stuff. We could spend hours on these, let you know what each one does. But I think once you find your apps and your style, you'll be all set. But it's very simple just to go in, download these, and again, once you're done downloading, it will have a check mark next to it, and then you can go back to the home screen. So for live TV, it's very simple to set up. You just hit add, and you're going to put in this category what you want to have. So for us, we're going to use Blue TV as our live TV source. And then once you hit back, it's already there. And these will show up here in the order in which you put them in. So once you have that set up, you can just hit Blue TV. This will load the initial download of the guide. Will take a little bit. And then this gives you some basic instructions. And then you can see all your standard fare, all your live TV channels. Then we're going to go back out and we're going to do the same thing for video on demand. And we're going to add blue video on demand here. Basically, same thing there again. Initial startup is going to have, you know, the guide set up, and then from here, all your movies and stuff like that will be ready to go. And then from there, we'll just go back out to the main screen. It also has a memory cleaner, and every once in a while you want to run this just to clean things out, clean the system cache. So beyond the pre-installed apps and the pre-installed selections from SuperBox, you also have access to the Google Play Store. You'll just need to have an account for that, and just you would do your sign in, and it just performs as usual. You also have a browser, and then you also have a setup for playback as well. And then this has your weather and just your basic stuff there. You also have this row here so that you can add, say you want to add your music. For example, you can just now add that to the bottom row, and it will always be here for what you're looking for. And you can do a lot of customization on this. Really, it's, you know, anything with Android. I'm really liking the new interface on this. It seems to be a lot more refined. All right, a couple of things I do want to point out as you've seen the basic install and just basic rundown of what the box does. A couple of things I do want to point out. One, the number one question we get asked all the time is, do I need to run a VPN? I personally do not run a VPN, but I do have the boxes isolated to their own network so that it's not on the same network. Just as a safety precaution, it's not on the same network as all my other computers and tech gear. The other part is Wi-Fi versus wired. Now, I use a mobile internet company called Connectin, which is 5G internet. I have never had a problem with buffering or streaming anything off of my wireless internet connection. That being said, depending on your internet for home or for mobile use, you may want a wired connection if you're experiencing lag or buffering issues. But like I said, I've never had an issue with any of our boxes streaming wirelessly, which is a great thing. Now, I do want to talk about that input right here for an SD card. This here is awesome if you want to have, say you have videos that you've downloaded somewhere and you want to play them on this box. I don't know why you wouldn't just stream them, but say you want to do it, you can do that just by putting that card in and boom, you're ready to go. Everything here is, well, very solid, very interesting what SuperBox is able to do at the price point that they're able to do it. Really nice, very well done on the S7 models. And again, that extra 10% off from SuperBox, and again, we want to thank them for contributing to this video. That makes it kind of a game changer and a no-brainer as a perfect holiday gift. If you know, you know. Okay, I do want to point out something here. I know that these boxes are all over the place and you can find them through various sources, whether it's on Reddit, Amazon, eBay, stuff like that. You want to make sure, and I can't say this enough, you want to make sure that you're buying it direct from SuperBox themselves, and that's where that link comes in handy, because there's a lot of, well, let's just call them what they are, a lot of questionable boxes out there that are pretending to be SuperBox, and the last thing you want to do is spend your hard-earned money on a brick. And if you do a little bit of research into these boxes, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the apps, everything, all together, love this box. But that's pretty much it. That's our take on the S7 Pro from SuperBox. If you have picked this box up already and you've had a chance to use it as much as I have, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the S7 Pro, especially if you've had previous models, maybe the S6. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Until next time, I'm Bob. This is Life Redesigned, and we'll catch you next week.